Okay, let's talk about health. It's a word we hear all the time, right? But in a world just buzzing with conflicting advice and endless news alerts, it can feel like the definition is always changing. So today, we're going to cut through all that noise. We're going to build a clear, simple understanding of what it really truly means to be healthy.
You know how it is. Every time you glance at your phone or walk past a notice board, you're just bombarded with headlines. More than 100 million people in India are diabetic. Too much screen time is messing with our sleep. Yoga can help with anxiety. It's this constant flood of information, and honestly, it's easy to feel totally lost. How do all these different pieces even fit together?
And that really gets to the heart of it, doesn't it? With all this stuff coming at us, what are we even aiming for? What is the actual definition of healthy in the world we live in today? Well, let's dig in and find out.
All right, first things first. We have to get this idea straight. Health is about so much more than just not having a cold or a fever. It's a way bigger, much more connected picture than that. You know, what's really fascinating is the official definition from the World Health Organization. Just look at those keywords: complete physical, mental, and social well-being. It's not just about your body. It's about your mind and your relationships too. It's the whole package.
And this is a perfect way to visualize it. Think of your health like a three-legged stool. You've got the physical leg, the mental leg, and the social leg. Now, what happens if one of those legs gets wobbly? The whole stool becomes unstable, right? They're all deeply, deeply connected.
This story from our source material makes that connection impossible to ignore. It talks about a student whose problem wasn't a virus, it wasn't an injury, it was loneliness. That's a social and mental issue, but look at how it actually showed up in his body. Headaches, weight loss, trouble sleeping, those are very real physical symptoms. It just proves you absolutely cannot separate one of those pillars from the others.
So if health is this big balancing act, what are the things that knock it off balance? Well, the threads to our health, diseases, they pretty much fall into two main categories.
A simple way to think about it is invaders from the outside versus challenges from within. On one side, you have communicable diseases, the ones you can catch from someone else. On the other side, you have non-communicable diseases, the ones you can't. And understanding this difference is so crucial because it tells us exactly how we need to fight back.
So first, let's talk about those invaders. Communicable diseases are caused by these tiny little organisms called pathogens. We're talking about things like bacteria and viruses that get into our bodies and just start messing things up. And these invaders are pretty sneaky. They can travel through the air when somebody coughs, they can hide out in food and water that isn't clean, or they can even hitch a ride with a vector, like a mosquito carrying dengue or malaria.
Okay, let's flip the coin and talk about the other side. Non-communicable diseases, or NCDs. These aren't caused by a bug you can catch. Instead, they're usually linked to our lifestyle, our genetics, our environment, basically how we live our day-to-day lives. And if you want to get a sense of just how big this challenge is, just look at that number. 100 million. That's the estimated number of people in India living with diabetes, a classic NCD. That is just a staggering figure. And this isn't some small problem on the side. This actually represents a massive shift in global health. Today, these lifestyle-driven, non-communicable diseases are the single biggest killer in many parts of the world, including India.
Now, when you're faced with all these threats, it might be easy to feel a little helpless, but we're not. We have an absolutely incredible defense system built right into our bodies, and we've got a powerful ally in science. That built-in defense system is called immunity. You can think of it as your body's own personal security force. It's on patrol 24/7, always identifying and taking out those outside invaders, the pathogens we were just talking about.
And for centuries, we've been learning how to train this immune system. The story of the very first vaccine is a perfect example. Way back in the late 1700s, a guy named Edward Jenner noticed something interesting. Milkmaids who got a mild disease called cowpox weren't getting the much deadlier smallpox. So, in 1796, he ran a pretty brave experiment that proved his idea. And that single concept, vaccination, eventually led to smallpox being completely wiped off the planet by 1979. Just amazing.
And this graph just shows that victory so clearly. Look at how the number of countries reporting smallpox just plummets as vaccination campaigns got going. It is, without a doubt, one of the greatest public health success stories in all of human history.
So this brings us to the most important part of this whole thing. Knowing all of this, what can we actually do about it? Well, you know the old saying is true. An ounce of prevention is worth a pound of cure. So here's a super straightforward action plan. Step 1, practice daily hygiene. Get this, the source material says that just washing your hands regularly can cut down infections by 50%. Step 2, adopt a healthy lifestyle. That's our best defense against NCDs. Step 3, keep your environment clean. That's for everybody's benefit. And Step 4, get vaccinated. It's like sending your immune system to the gym to train for known threats.
So let's think about this as our personal health toolkit. What's inside? Eating a balanced diet, staying physically active, getting enough sleep, managing stress, whether that's through yoga or meditation, maintaining hygiene for yourself and your community, and avoiding harmful substances. These aren't just suggestions, they are the fundamental tools for building a healthy life.
And really, it all comes down to this. It's the small, consistent choices we make every single day. What we decide to eat for lunch, when we decide to turn off the lights and go to sleep, these aren't just minor details. They're the very bricks you use to build the foundation for your long-term health and well-being.
So, we end right back where we started, with those 3 pillars: physical, mental, and social. Now that you know all this, the real question isn't just what is health anymore. The question is, what are you going to do about it? Which one of your pillars will you choose to strengthen today?